Let's talk about employment law around the world. I found that many companies only really start to fully understand local employment laws and customs long after they've set up an operation, and only when they hit problems. But it's an essential part of forward business planning, because your people are your company, and usually their salaries and taxes are your single highest cost. It can be a temptation to outsource employment. There's little need to understand the law, no complicated payroll to manage, and there are plenty of companies who'll do it for you. However, I see it as a real danger. That's because sadly a lot of outsourcing companies, including employment agencies, don't treat staff well. They'll pay the minimum and skimp on benefits. Why? Because they're competing to offer you the lowest cost and make the highest possible profit for themselves. That's natural. But it risks ending up with lower quality, demotivated employees. And they'll never be yours, promoting your business, because they're employed by someone else. And that assumes they stay. If they're unhappy, they're more likely to leave. And there's always the risk that the agency might just decide to redeploy its best people to another customer. You have no control. So it's almost always better to employ staff directly. So what should you know before you prepare your business plan? The biggest issues, and the ones that vary so much from country to country, are contractual terms and rights, taxes, and wage inflation. We shouldn't really start by thinking about letting people go, but it really is essential as the variations are so great. Very few countries are like the USA, that with a few exceptions has what's called hire at will. From the employee standpoint, fire at will. In other countries, you could find that a payoff could be a year's salary or more, even if the employee has only been with you for a short time. Many countries have several separate taxes that have to be paid by the employer, all with different bases. In the UK and US, they're about 10%. But in Brazil, for example, they could total as much as 95% of salary for lower paid employees. And wage inflation in some countries is really high and can be government mandated, typically anything from 6 to 15%. I'm not talking about merit increases, they go on top. Did I say it was always better to employ directly? Yes, I did, because I believe that whatever the complexities, everything can be handled with proper forward planning, and the advantages far outweigh the disadvantages. As always, I welcome comments. Please leave them below or get in touch. I'd be happy to hear from you and answer any questions you may have. International expansion is easier than you may think. Thank you for watching.